Hi, I'm Ken Brooks with Insurance Planning Incorporated. I do the safety and loss control for insurance planning, and I'm here today to talk to you about some of the big concerns that we have this time of year. This time of year, the weather turns hot on us, and we have a big concern about our workers working out in the heat. And the other thing that the companies I work with tend to do is they hire young workers this time of year. And so when that happens, there's a lot of responsibilities and regulations that OSHA requires of you. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Now, one of the big concerns with young workers is they're just not aware of the safety issues in their workplace because they're working for the first time and they're coming to you fresh. And so you've got to make sure they're aware. One of the things that I'll tell you is about 67 teenagers die each year on the job. And then about 230,000 have accidents on the job that aren't fatal. But the only way we're going to get those numbers down and the only way we're going to prevent that is if we make sure we're doing the proper training for them. And we're identifying for them their safety concerns and what they can and cannot do. And you know, when we're talking about all this, especially this time of year, because you're hiring them during the summer and working out in that heat, we have some concerns. We've got to make sure, and this is just all employees, not just teenagers, but we've got to make sure we're keeping our employees hydrated. We've got to encourage them to have that, if they have to have caffeine, have it first thing in the morning, have that quick drink of caffeine and drink water the rest of the day, because that caffeine will dry them out. And if they're drinking that all day, it's not going to help them. Working out in the heat, we're concerned about all sorts of different heat rash, heat stroke, and other things, but they all boil down to making sure that you're acclimated to the weather and that you're keeping your employees hydrated. Plus, they need to be cooled down. If they're working out in the heat for hours at a time, they need to get under the shade every so often. And so if they start showing signs that they're sweating too much, or if they stop sweating, if they're acting confused, start feeling fatigued, get them under that shade, get them in the cool, get them cooled down. Now, when we're talking about the teenage workers, though, there's certain things they can't do. And some of that stuff, most of that stuff involves power tools. That 16 to 17-year-old, you would think they would be allowed to do everything, but OSHA guidelines say that they can't. So keep that in mind. A 14 to 15-year-old is not even allowed to be using your mower. And so if you're not sure what they can or cannot do, what they're allowed or not allowed to do, go ahead and give me a call or email me, and I'll go ahead and answer your questions for you. The other thing I want to put out there is that the hours that they're allowed to work. A 14 to 15-year-old, until school is over, they're only allowed to work outside of school hours and no more than 3 hours a day on a school day. Then once school is out, they're able to work up to 40 hours a week, but no more than 8 hours on any given day and not past 9 o'clock on any day. 16-year-old and older, they can work any hours. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about is who can drive. 16-year-old can't drive for you. They can't do it just to even run one errand. The 17-year-old can drive for you, but only if it's secondary to what their actual work is. The 17-year-old still has a little bit to go before they're an experienced driver. And so we've got to keep that in mind, and we want to keep them safe and also protect your business. And so make sure you realize that. And you know, that whole thing of working with young people is we do want to keep them safe. And if they're a good worker, you want them working for you for years. So let's do that training. Let's make sure that they understand that there are safety concerns in your workplace. And if you need any help with that training, go ahead and give me a call. Insurance Planning provides safety and loss control services for all of our customers, and we are more than willing to come out and help you make sure that your safety program is a good one.